Thank you, Varun. Varun's picked up a wonderful slot for me just after a delicious lunch, which means my challenge is to keep you all awake and for the next 2 hours. So I'll try my best by not making too many outrageous statements. But let me first just correct a little bit of point that Varun made about me being in London. That's I used to be. I worked there for 10 years. I'll give a very brief background. I'm from the Foreign Service 91 batch. Before that, I did engineering, which was a big mistake, but let's not talk about that. And then I spent 10 years in venture capital. In 2008, I decided, it took a very conscious decision, and some would call an absolutely crazy decision, to devote the rest of my life in political activism, reforming India, systemic reforms in India, and as I said, political activism. I'll come in a minute to why I use this word. That decision, of course, was not possible without the full support of my wife. So I always make a point to thank her, because otherwise it's impossible, as many of you know. So I'm going to speak very briefly on something that Varun wrote in this brief note that's in all your folders, and he said there, I think in the second last paragraph, that the solution lies in having good people form the government. Okay, the solution to all problems lies in good people form government. And how do we do that? And I want to just spend a couple of minutes on how do we get good people in the government, because if you all agree that yes, good people can change the shape of this country and change the destiny of our nation, so to speak, the challenge is then how do we get these good people? And by good people, I mean people who are capable, who have integrity, who are committed, sincere, etc., etc. So but being good on its own is actually quite meaningless until you know what you're doing. So I also include within good people who have a good understanding of policies and issues and problems and so on. So how do we do that? How do we get good people in government? And thanks to our democratic system, which I fully support and endorse, and I'm thankful, because such a speech in China, where I've been, I can tell you, would have put a lot of us behind bars straight away. So I think we should be thankful for that system. But thanks to the system, the only way good people can actually form a government or be in government is by winning elections. Okay, so that's our task. So how do good people, how can we make good people win elections? And as I said, good within quotes, I just don't mean good-natured or a nice person, but as really capable people. We have had some examples in the past, rare, and that rare is actually the first point I want to make. So this is thanks to Varun, a wonderful group of very accomplished people and professionals and seniors, some of whom I never met before, but I know all by name, and I think we are truly, what Varun has assembled here is an astounding group of very smart people. But that leads to my first point. How many of us would think of contesting or have thought of contesting? And so the first point is, for the good people to win elections, they need to stand up, because talking will not do, and Sitaji said just now, we have to move to action. And I think there's enough talk has happened about solutions, problems, etc. But the challenge is we are not really offering an alternative. Okay, we need to stand up. That's the first point, is good people need to stand up. What I mean by standing up is get into active politics. And that gets me to this word political activist. I describe myself as political activist, and a lot of people recoil. Okay, तो भाई ये क्या है? अच्छा, आप समाज सेवा नहीं करते? ऐसे नहीं, मैं समाज सेवा बिल्कुल नहीं करता. मैं राजनीतिक कार्य करता हूँ, and I'm very political. I make a point, and I say, मुझे बड़ा दुख होता है सोच कर. It's really a matter of shame that a profession which is so noble is a word of insult today. If someone like me says I'm in politics, people immediately say, "अच्छा तो कुछ गड़बड़ किया हुआ," right? And that's, we need to think back. ऐसा कैसे हो गया? How could this happen? So we need to change that. We need to get people like me, Varunji, and others, a lot of you, into saying, these guys are active politicians. Okay, they may not win today. That's different. They are active politicians. They are into active politics. They are not talking. They are doing. They are trying to do. So that's the first thing. The second, of course, is linked to that. Good people must not only stand or get into active politics, they must come together. That is the second biggest problem. Okay, वो चोर मौसेरे भाई बोलते हैं, पर दो भले व्यक्ति एक दूसरे के सामने बैठना भी पसंद नहीं करते. Why? And that we need to overcome that. This is a serious issue. In my last 5 years of activism, I've come across literally hundreds of good-natured people who rebel at the thought of coming in one room. उनसे मैं बोलूँ कि जाइए एक मीटिंग करते हैं, साथ में बैठ के कुछ स्ट्रेटेजी बनाते हैं. तो ऐसे नहीं, सॉरी, हमको आपसे क्या करना, आपकी आइडियोलॉजी अलग है, आपका ये पॉलिसी अलग है. So we need to get over that. I think good people must come into politics and must stand together. I think that's the first condition for good people to win. That's not enough. The environment today for active politics, or anyone who is contemplating getting into active politics, is what I call a very hostile environment. What do I mean by hostile? So of course I need not tell you, all of you are very well aware of the money, muscle power, including threats to physical threats to your security and your person, and not to mention your family and so on. So that environment, we need to shape that, because I realistically cannot ask any youngster to say get into active politics knowing fully well that he or she may be at risk of serious physical harm. My integrity would not allow me to say that. And so we need to shape up the environment so that good people like us, can actually come without worrying what will happen to my family, what will happen to my parents when someone go and threaten them, or things like that. And how do we shape that hostile environment? I think a lot of things are, they're well known. I mean, electoral reforms would go a long way. Cleaning up campaign finance would go a very long way in making the environment more conducive to people like us. Because there is no way I can raise 50, 60 crores, okay, in black money. First of all, I would not want to do it. Even if I think I want to do it, there's no way I can raise, because I just don't have that kind of a network where I can raise 50 crores of unaccounted cash, which is, by the way, what it costs these days to run a small election. So we can't play that game. Okay, which brings me to the third point, that we need to change the rules of the game. The rules of the game today are, you are either a crook or you are a muscle man, or ideally both, and you have access to large amounts of unaccounted for cash, which then you can return back once you get elected. So this is the rule of the game today, and there is no way that any of us can ever imagine playing this game and winning. You can try playing this game, but nothing will happen. You will lose miserably, unless you're an exception, and for some reason or the other you get elected. But the exception has been truly exception. I mean, you have Dr. J.P. Narayan from Hyderabad, who after 16 years of service finally got elected. But that was 16 years of selfless service in the constituency. That's too long, frankly, and that should not be the case. So how do we shape that? How do we change the rules of the game? Some of the things we'll have to do very cleverly. As in, a large part of electoral expenditure today actually goes in just advertising. So 10,000 posters, 5 lakh pamphlets, etc., etc. So can we not think of clever ways of reducing that cost? Can we think of alternative media which dramatically reduces the cost of that advertising? SMS campaigns, mobile video, viral mobile videos, things like that. Even Google Hangouts, which Google Hangout is a very powerful way to reach out a large number of people for a practically zero cost. So these are just examples of how do we change the rules of the game. And the last thing I would say, and this is a very important thing, I think for good people to win, this actually is not related to the conditions of the environment at all, but I think this point is very important. I call it, we suffer today, unfortunately, people like us and me suffer from a crisis of confidence. Okay, what do I mean by crisis of confidence? I think we ourselves do not believe we are capable of winning, and that to me is suicidal. Okay, unless we believe that we can actually play this game, we can win, maybe not today, not tomorrow, but maybe day after, there is no chance, I can tell you, there's no chance we'll ever win. So we need to get over that crisis of confidence, and I think that will, hopefully that along with the other things, get us to a point where good people can actually win. And I certainly am committed. That's my aim of political activism, is to make sure that we have leaders we can look up to, we can aspire to. Today my leaders, my MP is not someone I look up to. I have great professors, I have great bosses, but I don't have a great leader, and that's the shame of this nation. So with that, I will stop. Very happy to take questions. I hope I did not exceed my time, Varun. Thank you very much for patient listening. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Shantanu. Mr. Ravinder Singh, yeah. You want to ask a question earlier answered.
Sir,
Mike.
Thank you for giving me this time. I'm Ravinder, I'm an inventor. Sir, the biggest problem in India is that, only our 26%